Hello, 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 gamers. We are on a bit of a hot streak here in Final Fantasy Draft, and starting up a draft, seeing what we can find. A traveling chocobo's got to be a fun one. I don't think I've actually seen this one in draft quite yet, so it's I've had it played against me. You can play lands and birds off the top of your library, and anytime you play a land or a bird, and it triggers an ability, that ability triggers an additional time. So all your landfalls twice. Esper Origins, another fantastic hit, very powerful. Rydia counts as a good one. Gubu Gardener's happy to see. Dreams of Laguna, Final Days, Black Mage's Rod, really good pack. Even Persia's Wandering, I'm not really happy to first pick that one, but, some good stuff here. I think we just take the Traveling Chocobo, play with it for the first time. I'd be happy with it. Yeah, lots of good stuff following that up. We could do a Chocobo Kick because that means that our landfall comes in there. Otherwise, we've got Sephiroth's Intervention, the Dragoon's Wyvern. I don't think we're going to be pairing an Ultima with the Traveling Chocobo, but Renoa plays really well with going wide. Ambrosia Whiteheart being a bird we can cast off the top of our library. Really tough stuff. My gut just tells me to take the best card in Sephiroth because, even though this card's incredible, we don't really want to be going down with it. But also, is Chocobo Kick that much worse than Sephiroth? If it is, then maybe we should, take it. But if it's not, then, sticking with green and sort of going down that route seems very, very powerful. You know what? I think I'm going to do that. I think I'm going to take the Chocobo Kick and hopefully pair it with some birds. Call them out in Chocobo is a good way to keep things flowing. Also is Rydia. Rydia being able to landfall off the top of the library and then you get double loots out of it is probably pretty good. This is the second Balthier in France, so I'm not really ever thinking that this is going to be a +1/+1 and vigilance to reach to vehicles. We're not really playing any vehicles, but it's a 3-mana 4/3 reach. It's stuff that turns out. That's good, right? People are playing 3-mana 3/3 reach right here. We're going to take the first Rydia. Let's see where things go from there. Diamond Colossus, very good card. I don't think we need a Gigantode this early. Otherwise, we'd be splashing something like Circle of Power or Dragoon's Wyvern. Could take this Capital City and just kind of move into towns. But I think this Diamond Weapon is good enough as is, particularly if we're going to be cycling away or, looting away stuff with this landfall trigger. A town here, a Reach the Horizon, a bird and the Whiteheart, another Gigantode I don't think we're going to take. I think I take this very first Reach the Horizons. In green, we're going to be doing lots of landfall triggers in theory, but also just ramping into big stuff. And I always have liked Reach the Horizons. I found it very powerful early on. Blitzball Shot pairing off with with a lot of the big stuff that we have is good. Also is Cornered by Black Mages. Cornered by Black Mages plays a little bit better in other things where you're going to be having lots of removal. Green Black has some, but not a ton. It's more of like a sitting to the board. Prompto also being here kind of goes well with what we've got going on. I think I'm going to stick with the first Prompto, and then we can pick up another Blitzball Shot later. Not that interested in things like Ice Flan or Hope. So take a Prompto. Ambrosia Whiteheart is a card we can cast off the top of our deck. Otherwise, Blitzball Shot down here. I'm going to take this first Ambrosia because it's an uncommon. A second Ambrosia here. Also a Clash of the Icons and a Warrior Sword. If we wanted to splash on the black, we've got that here, but I don't think we want to do that. So I'm just going to take this Clash of the Icons. This plays really well with Fat Chocobo because Fat Chocobo comes down. You're able to kill something with the Fat Chocobo because 4/4 is kind of big on the board right now, and then also removing a lore counter from a Saga means that it just sticks around an extra turn. If you can play it on the same turn as the Fat Chocobo, then in theory you can remove that very first counter and then get a second Chocobo as your upkeep trigger. But I've found that a lot of times you just want to play your Fat Chocobos on 5 when you can. Gubu Gardener keeps things moving, keeps things ramping. It's, I think, the worst of your 2-drop ramps, right behind Torgal, a Fine Hound. But, it is what it is. At the end of the day, a 1/3 does block decently well. We want to see if we can pick up a couple of Sagas. That way we can end up getting them back here with Rydia. Rydia's fine as a looter, particularly if you can double it up with the Chocobo here, but not really something that we just want to be playing a 2-mana 1/2 looter. All right, Red Green Town came back. That's great. There's a thought that we might end up taking the Kikurin Merchant just because we end up in towns. That's better. But seeing Ambrosia in the deck just to kind of pair with our birds so far, not really where I'm going to be at. I don't really love any of these things. So I'm just going to take this Magic Pot as a sideboard card. We'll see this one. That's our last pick. And a Poison the Waste if we do end up in black. You know, better than... I've forgotten what the other card is called now at this point. The blue one that steals an equipment and attaches it to one of your stolen uniform. Last pick coming in hot. Another Magic Pot. Great. And now we can open up a Lightning Army of One and summon Fenrir. Wow. These are two good, really good cards. I believe Summon Fenrir is the top performing common. Lightning Armor of One, obviously very powerful in its own right. First strike, trample, lifelink 3/2, right? And then whenever your opponent takes, or whenever lightning deals damage, so on first strike, everything else deals double damage. Man, this is really tough. I think this is just more so in our game plan, the Summon Fenrir versus Lightning, which is super fast aggro. And the odds of this coming down on 3 for the white is a lot tougher. I really want some summons for the Rydia. I also can pick them up with the Ambrosia. It sucks to pass something like that, but I think we have to. Suplex looking very good here. Balam T-Rex also a big one, but I think we're going to take the first Suplex just to get stuff out of the way of our early creatures. Not a lot going on here. Coral Sword really played well with us in the black-red deck. I don't know if it's going to play as well here, but I think it's worth a shot. Bard's Bow, obviously fine, nothing wrong with it, but it's also nothing exciting, whereas Coral Sword, I think, has a lot more upside. Particularly if we can end up getting those fat chocobos, some of those trample threats, people are going to be double blocking them as they come through. Omega is a card that could be worth splashing. White Aura Sight's a lot tougher to do that. Crystal's Chosen plays well with like the Summon Fenrir into Reach the Horizons. It's a lot easier to get double white when you're getting up to 7 mana. So I might take this as another top end card, like akin to Diamond Weapon or something similar. 4 mana getting the double white's a lot worse. Omega's another card that I think we could see. Sandworm seems a little bit, honestly, kind of small ball if we're going to be ramping that much. So we're going to take this Crystal's Chosen. I think that means that we're solidly in our Naya colors. Take this Capital City, I guess, to potentially splash that third while also cycle away. Also counts if there's any sort of towns deal that's going on. I don't think we're into like a poo-poo UFO or anything. Tifa's Limit Break plays well. Also called a Mountain Chocobo plays well. This is one that can get looted away with Rydia. Tifa's Limit Break, though, is once we have a bunch of mana, it's triple target creature's power and toughness on a turn. That's a lot. Triple is a lot. Again, when in doubt, we're going to take the uncommon because the idea that we might see a common more likely is a little bit more likely we'll see that uncommon or that common again. Sabatender, I guess, not impossible to play because it gets double triggers off the Traveling Chocobo, right? Whenever a land or bird you control enters the battlefield, causing a triggered ability to permanent you control. This is a triggered ability we control that is landfall. Really nothing here. So I guess we'll take our 20 gems. We're not playing Paladin's Arms. Sort of move on. Summon Chocomog as a bird. We can play that off the top of the library. It's not incredible in the idea that, you know, we don't have a lot of go wide in this deck, but free cards are free cards. Yo, a town that is in our colors now. I don't think we need a weapons vendor, so let's just take our town, be happy with it. Another town, happy with that. All right, now I feel very confident about our splash. Very easy to get Crystals Chosen. Might not even necessarily play this Capital City unless we've got reason to, but a Cycle Land's always pretty good as well. Airship Crash is a great sideboard card. Get that thing in here. Syncopate, we're not playing. Instant ramen in the board. I'm really interested in this deck. There's a possibility it goes 0-3. It's also a possibility it goes 3-0. White Orosite looking a little bit better now. Jill, super powerful. Lunar Whale, super powerful. Battle Menu, super powerful. Was this a SRAM? Probably not playing a SRAM. I think I'll take this Battle Menu just because it's decent removal. Pass a couple blue cards and see what we get. Excalibur, Saz's Chocobo. It's got to be this Chocobo, I think, right? Dragoon's Lance, very powerful. Yashi Green's great. Or was it Geishel? At the beginning of the format, I thought that the L was an I, and I thought the S and the A were flipped, and so I called it Gyashi Greens. It's good enough. That's what my brain says it is. Nothing really going on here. I'm not really taking a scout. I think it's too late to really get in the infantry train. Plus, that's a splash more than anything. I take this Light of Judgment, I think. It's also an off chance we take this town for some of the blue cards to come back, but I think I'd rather just splash an island at this point. Zidane, very powerful. Thunder Magic, very powerful. I'm down on some of our threats, especially because we can pull them off the top of our library with the Traveling Chocobo. So I think I take a Thunder Magic here. Summon Esperama. Crossroads Village. I think Windurst is better than Crossroads Village. So I might just take that. Right? Is Windurst better than Crossroads Village? Because it's green early, but also white when you need it? Yeah, I think I'd take that. Kind of wish we had a couple extra birds. Or a Chocobo Racetrack? Dang. That would be the card that we're looking for. Give me a Chocobo Racetrack. Alright, I think it's finally time to take this Call of the Mountain Chocobo. I'm not that interested in a White Orosite. So give me a Call of the Mountain Chocobo. I think a second Call of the Mountain Chocobo is just fine. More birds, more better. That's our 23rd card. Grand Pulse Ochu is fine. Question mark? Third Call of the Mountain Chocobo. Are we just calling the Mountain Chocobo? I think it's the pick here. I don't know if we play that third copy. Dragoon's Lance. Get in here, brother. Dragoon's Lance on the wheel. Are we not a Gubu Gardener deck anymore? Are we the beatdown deck? Alternatively, are we not a Prompto deck and we can put Gubu Gardener back in? That probably tracks a little bit more. Crossroads Village is a free town. Yeah, I think this is fine. We play out a couple of birds. We then get to big stuff. We Crystal's Chosen all the birds. We go huge. Apparently we're still starting to wake up this morning, so I thank you for your patience with that. A good stretch. Gets things moving. Yeah, this is probably the deck. Very happy with how the splash turned out. I know there was a little bit of sketch going on there early on, but I think it really sort of worked out in our favor with all the dual lands. Of course, it's not really so much a splash anymore if I've got all these cards. But 3 of them are birds that we can get off the Traveling Chocobo. Crystal's Chosen is a top end card, and Dragoon's Lance is obviously very powerful. So I'm not too worried about it. I'm going to shave 1 plains for a forest because Battle Menu doesn't have to come till late. Whitehurst kind of comes a little bit later as well. So like our curve early on is very red-green heavy. And we've got 3-4 different white sources in our lands. Plus, Rydia kind of can help get things taken care of as far as looting away sources we don't need to hopefully help us find other stuff. All right, round 1. Trying to do something a little different here with the birds. But depending on draws, if we get our early stuff, the good things like the Saz's Chocobo and the Rydia and the Traveling Chocobo, if we can draw well, I think this deck could do very well. If we draw sort of mid or poorly, I think this deck likely is going to be one to fizzle out. We don't have a lot of card advantage, with the exception of the Chocobo, so we'll have to see how things draw. But here, tough to turn down. We've got Rydia into summon Fenrir. Can pick up the Fenrir with the Ambrosia Whitehurst. All is good in the world. Opponent on Mullen to 6. Plays a mountain. We play a town. And then I think we just play out our 1-2 right away. They have a Sabotender, sure. Alternatively, we could play that. No, I don't think we need to, so I'm just going to play the Rydia. I mean, in theory, we can loot that away because we don't really need it. And then we can go get maybe second green source with the Summon Fenrir. We only ever need a second white source for the Crystals Chosen, which we're, in theory, going to need quite a ways away. Adventure's Airship. Gamer, what are we doing here? Playing Sabotender and Adventure's Airship. No attacks with the Sabotender. Which also seems a little strange. Like, I'd be trying to trade off my Sabotender for the Rydia's Airship. Ah, yes. Whenever you have questions, double check. How many cards does the opponent run? They're running 48 cards. Yikes. Likely a new gamer. We got our little Jace Chocobo now. Loving that. Alright, we have a second green source now, so I don't think we need that. I think that means we pitch the Crossroads Village. We play the Summon Fenrir. We go get Plains, I guess, because we don't want Mountain for Call Mountain Chocobo. We've got 2 green sources. Let's get our second Plains. Here. I don't know if we pitch anything. Maybe this Call the Mountain Chocobo doesn't... We don't need the front half, so... Let's pitch it to draw a card. That was a good pickup. Worked out great. Really just hunting through the deck for our Traveling Chocobo to really start to pop off. Sabotender, sure. Take 2. Yep, take 3. And we are, I want to say we're up on cards. These Sabotenders, I think, the first one I think is really bad. But if you get 2 of them or 3 of them, then all your landfall triggers are doing 2 or 3 damage. That can be pretty nasty stuff. So we have to make sure that we're not, getting too much damage from these Sabotenders, especially because we're light on removal. We're playing things like Light of Judgment. But I'm kind of hoping this Saz's Chocobo gets big enough where Tifa's Limit Break on 8 really turns it over the top. Suplex, you say. All right. Let's play Saz's Chocobo, obviously. Then we might cycle away this Light of Judgment, I think. Dragoon's Lance, a great one. We're gonna suplex the Sabotender because it allows us to attack for 4 this turn, right now. And then on our next main phase, with this trigger on the stack, we're gonna bring in the Whitehurst and bounce it. Stop in my main phase. Because with the trigger on the stack, then it doesn't get sacrificed. Saz's Chocobo currently able to block the Sabotender. That's great. Go to 10 if they... Sure. Down goes a mediocre 2-drop. Trigger on the stack, play this thing... Undo the stop so that way we can pick it up. That gets us to 7 mana, so if we end up getting an 8th one, then this Tifa, in theory, could swing it for us. I'd like to pick up this Summon Fenrir, please. Oh, but then we don't have the greatest power amongst things. Well, we didn't anyway. That's okay. Play land... No. No loot. Summon Fenrir. Saz's Chocobo now able to get in pretty easily. And then Dragoon's Lance only has flying on our turn, so we're going to get in with that as well. It's pretty easy to get done. I really don't want to go get a mountain because we have a Call the Mountain Chocobo, and we have a second Call the Mountain Chocobo, so I don't really want to be searching out mountains out of our deck. I don't think we really need double or triple red for anything. So I'm going to get another forest. And go from there. Not going to discard this. Because even right now, if we double it, I think that's going to be fine. If we attack for 6, how much is doubling? 3 mana. We can equip this Dragoon's Lance onto the Saz's Chocobo with drawing no land. And then Tifa's Limit Break should double it from a 5/5 to a 10/10. And that should be good enough. Summon Fenrir looking like it's going to be a good option to trade off with the Warrior's Sword, because then we can bring it back with this. Down goes the Chocobo, but OP's out of cards. I don't know why they played that land. I guess just to deal a damage with the Sap Tender. Draw a card, discard that card. Ooh, alright, it's a big one. We go to 6. Yeah, any land gets us there. Even without a land, we're in decent shape. Do I want a Coral Sword? Coral Sword can put... Is that lethal? I think it is. If we go attack all Coral Sword on the Ambrosia, because they're going to block the Summon Fenrir, then we can double Ambrosia to a 6. No, but that's 1 short. Okay. So, what if we go Call the Mountain Chocobo and then attack all? That's 6, 7, 8. Or that's 3, 4, 5, 6. 1 from Coral Sword and 2 from Tifa's Limit Break again. Okay, so then our thoughts on this are... Call the Mountain Chocobo. Oh, I've just realized we missed lethal. Ah, beans! I knew there was around there somewhere. We pay 4 mana to move the Dragoon's Lance over here. Then we attack all, and then we double this to go into 8. And even the 2 1s over here are worth it. So that's fine. If they equip, this is +3. Oh, dang, I think we're actually dead. We're gonna have to hopefully have them play around something, I guess. Because if they just crew and equip, I think that means that they've got it. So maybe that means that we loot away this Coral Sword. Yeah, into another land. Okay, well. They're gonna have to do it. Wow. Didn't play around anything. And we steal the win. Luckily, we had lethal on board anyway, so I don't really feel bad for stealing this win, but get there in the end. Ka-chow. Okay, so we saw 2 different equipment, plus this Relentless ATM. I mean, it probably is a decent idea to bring in 1 Airship Crash. I'm not going to be too overly keen on it. Also, in hindsight, probably should have suplexed this Airship Crash. That should have been okay. Call the Icons, I think, looking good in the face of all their little dudes. Coral Sword, we're a little bit less on the attacking, but this also plays fine on defense. Diamond Weapon, going to be a little tough to to get out for the cheap, but also takes over the game when you do. But we don't have any trample, so I think maybe we'll pitch this diamond weapon. Or maybe alternatively, we keep the diamond weapon and get rid of the reach the horizon. We seem to be just fine getting lands out. Plus, we've got Summon Fenrir. So maybe that's the play. Airship crash in, reach the horizon out, because reach the horizon doesn't really put anything on the battlefield that can be effective. All right, mulligan this for only one land. This is keep, but we're going to pitch a mountain. We're going to be looking for, hopefully, a plains at some point. And looking to start things up. Okay, mountain for opponent, town for us. Drawing all our mountains. We have 3 more in the deck. Sabotender for them and Sabotender for us. Of course, these 2 cards looking really good if we had to reach the horizon. But that's okay. We'll be just fine. Alright, have to get things moving. Red Mage's Rapier. Likely going to end up trading off at some point. Opponent not trading off their Sabotender. We're going to ping them for 1. I don't really want to attack because I want to trade off with the Red Mage's Rapier here. Take 1 from Sabotender. Equip the Red Mage's Rapier to their Sabotender and get in. Don't get in. We take 1. Play land, get in. Attack with our Sabotender, see if they want to trade. They do not. Play our Call the Mountain Chocobo. Go get a mountain. And weep. Where's Rydia? Help, Rydia, please. Grahatia is a great card. Gubu Gardner looking... Actually, not that bad. I was gonna say straight trash, but it's not terrible. It blocks both these things very well. It also gives us a triple block onto the Grahatia, which is mid, but fine. You know, if I'm trading these 2 things for that thing and they don't even get to draw a card for anything, that's good. But opponent a little sketch on the style of mana and things that they might have. Another Red Mage's Rapier. Okay. What are we doing this? Attaching it to the Grahatia. Attacking in with the Grahatia. Okay, so they might have like a Thunder Magic or something crazy. Otherwise, this is just the play. But I don't really see much of an option. Yeah, we're kind of banking on the fact that they're a newer player. And just spending their mana sort of frivolously. Yep, we take 1. Yep, that one's pretty scary. Yo, gamer. What a rip. We're not going to end up attacking this turn. See if we can get some of their mana sunk into the Relentless X ATM or something. Yep, that's great. The fact that they've already spent mana on equipping means that we can just kill this now and it's not coming back for at least a turn. I don't know why they're equipping this if they don't have any non-creature spells. But good on you, gamer. Alright, Dragoon's Lance. Working out fine, I suppose. Playing a land. Getting in, attacking with everything because, you know, this Chocomog is on a limited time. Gonna trade off both tokens for our token. Yeah, I don't think that that's really what we want to be, but, you know, who am I to say? Who am I to judge? They're valuing this Sabotender very highly. It has done 8 damage to us. And still might kill us. If we attack for 8. Yeah, okay. That's pretty good. You kind of just look at their life total and realize that they're almost dead. If they can equip and cast a non-creature spell of any kind, we're dead, assuming they don't block. But if they do block, then this thing can start flying over. We're not going to triple block over here, particularly because we've got the bonus for the attacks. And just putting them to 2 when we have a Dragoon's Lance on the board just seems really powerful. Okay, we take 1. They did not equip, so we still have 1. Oh no, OP. No! They have good blocks, so unless they attack with the ATM here, or the Sabotender for that matter. Oh, buddy. It's a little painful to watch sometimes. Our white source, and there we go. Hey man, you take him. All right, after a dubious round 1, we're going to be playing round 2 here against a fellow Cactuar Enjoyer and Mono Green at Dauntless Drafter. I have to probably expect a little bit more consistent gameplay out of our opponent here. But tough to turn down. All 3 colors of mana, a way to get another mountain. So we're going to pitch this mountain back, make sure we got stuff in the library to go fetch with it. We have a suplex in case they've got some early bomb. Like a Magitech Infantry. I don't know if I'd really consider this a bomb, but we are going to suplex it because otherwise it can really start to take over the game by fetching out other Magitech Infantry. A Garnet, also very powerful. I think we're going to have to end up killing that instead, because if they were just going to like summon Fenrir, get rid of the token, like that would be game over. Whereas this thing is something we can work through, particularly now that we've got 2 white sources for our Crystals Chosen. Summon Fenrir it is. If this thing was on the battlefield, we would have straight lost. Be done probably for the day. No, I'm just kidding. We'd just be moving on. We're going to play our tap land. The next turn, we've got our Call the Mountain Chocobo. And if they have a big follow-up like a Fat Chocobo or something, that's going to be pretty tough. If they just have go search up a Magitech Infantry, that's something that we can likely deal with. If they search up probably 3 of these things, I'll be pretty scared. But for now, they're going to draw their card off the Summon Fenrir. We are probably not going to trade this first turn because we can play our tap land, Crystal Sword, and Chocobo Kick. Like, this all kind of tracks. So I'm going to take my 4 here. I don't want to trade quite yet. See what they play. Paladin's Arms. Yeah, this is actually going to kind of work out great. We're going to be able to kill this thing. Oh, kill that thing, I suppose. Play a tap land. We're going to be able to Crystal Sword, kill the Paladin's Arms. Well, the hero token. A white Auracite. No! Okay, so we're taking 7 now? Yikes. Saz's Chocobo, not going to do it for us. Play a thing, play a thing. And we're one mana short, right? I feel like if we were on the play this game, we'd be able to take 1 more hit and then stabilize with the Crystals Chosen. So it's a little validating to have the Crystals Chosen in the deck, but we're going to need some answers. So we're going to bring in I'm going to take out some of this big stuff, the Reach Horizon and the Diamond Weapon. We're going to bring in Grand Pulse Ochu and then 2 Airship Crashes. I think that also means we're going to take out the Sabotender just because it's going to not be very good. We could bring in Magic Pot. I mean, 1/4 plays well against all this stuff, but I don't know if that's really exactly where we're going to be. So we'll just stick with something like this. Light of Judgment might play really well. I'm expecting to win this second game because we'll be on the play, and the third one is going to be where things get a little questionable. make sure that we have a good draw. I'll play first. We've got some tap lands, but they're good ones. And we can end up getting into Iridia, battle menu. Really kind of go long. We'll play this Windhurst first. We draw an untapped land that allows us to play Iridia. Oh, wow. Saz's Chocobo was great. We can play that. Play this red card. Now the real question is whether we should just like play land and Chocomog and get in that way, or whether we want to Iridia and then land and loot away something. I think I'm down just to start beating with birds. I also just realized the flavor text is Warkupo. This thing. Very cute. All right. Ash looking good. We're gonna attack. We're gonna battle menu whatever they do. They don't. So that's fine. The question is whether we should cycle or we just play the Gubu Gardener. I'm just gonna play the Gubu Gardener because that guarantees us 4 mana next turn. And then also is another attacker for the Chocomog. Paladin's Arms, perfectly fine. Yep, there it goes. We play Iridia? No, we can't. We need that white source. So we play a forest. That gets our Saz's Chocobo out of range. We attack all, and if they want to block the Gubu Gardener, I'm down. Trade it off. And take 7. We call the Mountain Chocobo to keep the pressure on, plus that gives us another trigger for the Saz's Chocobo. And now both of these threats are lethal through a battle menu killing off a big thing, and then an airship crash killing off an artifact. No hit for Ash, which I think they probably needed like a white Auracite or something to do it. They have a white Auracite for our Chocobo, but that's not good enough because this here, they need to follow up. A Magic Tech Infantry is a good one, but we can kill that with an airship crash. Down it goes. We're going to play Iridia first. I don't think we actually cycle away this Crystal's Chosen. Yeah, actually we do. Cycle away the Crystal's Chosen, hit the planes for it, airship crash, and get in for lethal. Ka-chow! Let's go. That was great. The reason why I cycled away the Crystal's Chosen was because I didn't think the game was going to last 2 more turns, right? If we play it, and then, or we play a land, and then we play another land with the Call of the Mountain Chocobo, you know, we could get there, assume we had a plains, which of course we did, but then, okay, what? It puts out 4 2/2s, and then we have to attack. Like, we're not, the game's not lasting that long. Either A, we're able to kill them this turn, which was true, or B, you know, we're going to let them untap, and things are going to get nasty. Like, they're going to be able to untap with 6 mana and a bunch of cards in hand, and we're out of gas, and I just didn't think it was going to be where we wanted to be. So, we pitched it for maybe like hopefully a Tifa's Limit Break or something that was going to affect the board. But I think the game plan is sound. We still have not seen our Traveling Chocobo yet in 3 games, and I think it's finally time to start casting birds and playing lands off the top of our library. We have cards. Yes, these cards are fine. Ideally, we're going to end up picking up a green source for this Summon Fenrir, but Clashy Icon looking good. We might just play out this Whiteheart. If they don't play anything, I think we just play Ambrosia, but they do play Fenrir. Okay, they go get a land. Okay, wow, this is great. We're gonna go also get a land. I think that is much better than kind of doing nothing. I'm gonna get a second forest right away because again we only have 2 things that care about white. Search your library for a creature with mana value 1 or less. Put in the battlefield. This is a Ranger Captain of Eos. Okay. Sure. So because this comes in with a +1/+1 counter on it, we can play Summon Chocomog. We can then play a Windhurst, I guess. Yeah, Windhurst. And then target creature you control fights target creature you don't control, remove a counter, and then also put a lore counter on something. I don't think we need to put a lore counter on something. Maybe we just remove a counter. So the question is do I want to fight and kill off the Fenrir? Or do I just want to fight and like kill off the Magic infantry so they can't switch out another one? I think I'm going to kill the Fenrir. And then I remove a counter off of our Fenrir. So it sticks around a little bit longer. Because it's kind of free to do that. We get another counter next turn if we want it. I'm attacking with this Fenrir because if they want to trade with their card, that's fine. Otherwise, this is just coming in again next turn. Balam T-Rex. That's a big one. Stampede. Okay. I'm gonna attack. And I think I'm gonna pick that up. Actually, you know what? I might not do that. Ah, this is a mistake. Because now I'm thinking about picking up the Summon Fenrir, but no, I think I'm going to pick up the Summon Chocomog. Get in for 4. Play a land. Play the Summon Chocomog. I think with our suplex, we might be able to... Okay, so there goes the Chocomog. Can't really attack with Magic Infantry. Can't attack with the Balam and that. Yeah, that's pretty scary stuff. Take 10. Call the Mountain Chocobo was fine. Get a 2/2. Guess we just play our land here. Go get this thing back. Allows for a double block on Ranger Captain of Eos. Because we get to attack with this thing. And really we're on like Battle Menu, Crystal Chosen, Light of Judgment. Chocobo Kick would be acceptable. So we've got like 4 or 5 things. Tifa's Limit Break in theory should be helpful. Okay. Yeah, Tifa's Limit Break also counts if they... we've got a Thunder Magic. So... Or we're just dead. Blitzball shot. Dang, gamer. Alright. Unfortunately... I think we just, didn't have an answer to a big threat. We got about 5 or so in the deck, and the other key was the Ranger Captain of Eos getting the +1/+1 counter meant that we couldn't suplex it, and that led to our demise. But we'll see you gamers in round 3. What's happening right now? No cut. Let's go. Straight through. All right, we're playing first. Tough to argue with 3 colors. We're going to play this one on white. A Cactuar. That's incredible. Play this one on red. Man, this is a wild league. Our opponents are over here playing Cactuars and green-white. Where's all this Sultai garbage that we're supposed to be able to kill? I'm going to play this just for curve considerations. Mainly because it does both kill Torgal, or it blocks Torgal very well. And next turn we can go like suplex into battle menu. They play a Cactuar. They fight our Cactuar with their... Oh, they punch it with the Chocobo kick. Very good. Torgal comes down. Okay. Do I just need to suplex this Cactuar, or is it going to start beating my face in? I think we have to sort of just suplex the Cactuar, man. We don't have enough answers for this. I mean, ideally, if you can get like a 4-4 or whatever, this thing is pretty invalidated and not very good, but... Fun fact, at the moment, we don't have a 4-4. They elect not to attack with Torgal. We're going to play our land and sort of hope, I guess. A red source. An ancient copper dragon. That's one of those ones we're going to have to kill. Destroy this ancient copper dragon with magic. Take 3. Move on. Light of Judgment looking hot. So we're going to tackle this thing. Play that. Move on. Earth Crystal. Yeah, that's a good one. Attacking in. Kill this off with the Bard's Bow. Beep. Taker 2. And we're 1 short of the diamond weapon. Alright. No reason not to attack because we sure ain't blocking because they're just going to activate this. But diamond weapon kind of looking like a good opportunity for infinite blocks on one thing. Call the Mountain Chocobo, sure. Might as well take our opportunity to move this over and jump with the hero. And so long as they only really ever have their one main threat, currently being Torgal, then Diamond Weapon can let the little Chocobo get in for a little bit, and then eventually we fly over with the Diamond Weapon 2 turns later. If we get 1 land over the course of the next 2 turns, then we've got a 3-turn clock. Right, we attack in with the bird. We're going to play the Diamond Weapon first, right? So we attack him with this bird. Oh, I see. Okay, we can play Call the Mountain Chocobo to play a land that gets him for 4, which puts it at 9. But they're going to steal my Diamond Weapon? Jesus, all right. Get out of here. I don't think we were ever beating that card. All right, I don't know if we necessarily need... Well, maybe we do. I was going to say, I don't know if we need Airship Crash, but seeing the dragon plus the Earth Crystal, or the... Is it Earth Crystal? Yeah, the Earth Crystal. It's probably worth it, so we're going to take that and put that in. Coral Sword feels like a little small ball here. So we'll probably take that out. And just ship it. We're going to ship it. Finally got to see our Traveling Chocobo. In hindsight, it was the play, because then maybe we could end up putting a couple extra Chocobos out there, but I didn't want to whiff and then just chump block. I don't think we can keep this. 3 green cards, no green mana. This is much better. We probably pitch this Diamond Weapon, and Sabatendi's going to help us out. We do have a quick little kill spell for a Torgal this time around, if they're going to be relying on that for either counters or mana fixing. Opponent also on 6. Good news for us. Mount for them. We're going to play Sabatender. Wouldn't mind a tap land here. Like, that would be just fine. Nothing for them, so that means that Sabatender not only gets to ping in once, gets to attack in for 2. I think this is kind of where you want to be, right? If this gets in for 1 attack early on in the game and then also pings them for like 4 or 5 damage, I think that is just fine. A perfectly fine 2-drop. We're going to play this Plains. We're going to call the Mountain Chocobo. I don't think I necessarily need to attack with the Sabatender. Because it's worth at least 2 more damage in hand, 3 more if we cast this one. Because I think we have another mountain in the deck. We do have 2 more mountains in the deck. Gigantode. Yeah, that seems fine. I'm down for trading damage, I think, at this point. So the question is whether we Thunder Magic or whether we Battle Menu. And seeing as we've seen the Dragon so far and Thunder Magic, or Battle Menu can also be a 2/2. I'm going to play this land. We're going to Thunder Magic the Gigantode. Get it for 5, putting them to 10. Functionally 8, because again, we've got these 2 mountains here. Plus another 2/2 over there coming. A Cactar. That would be a good thing to trade off with this token. A summon. A Chocobo side quest. I'm not really that scared for either of these at the moment, at this very second, but like, they can be pretty scary in a little bit. Do I want to battle menu? So I could battle menu save this. Also, I could just battle menu and make a 2/2 if that was important. Nice. Alright, they're going to get in. Yep. After they attack, we're going to kill this Ancient Copper Dragon. No blocks. Assuming we don't, we just draw land. We did. We're going to call the Mountain Chocobo so that way, 1, we get to play this 2/2, and 2, they don't see the fact that we just have lands. And now, I mean, attacking him with any one... both of these are lethal because of the ping from the Sabatender. But then, like, just connecting with anything means that we're going to be fine. Yep, play Cactar. Can't really attack. Gonna need a spell to avoid lethal this next turn. Otherwise, they can just trade and chump. I don't think we really need to attack with the Sabatender and open ourselves up to some rough stuff. I think we just trade. Here, I mean, they have to trade with both, or trade with one and chump the other. But even if, let's say they had a thing to save their Cactar, they would attack with it, we'd go to 5, and then it would bounce back to their hand, allowing us to play a land and get in with Sabatender for lethal. So Sabatender looking great. It came down on 2, which means we've dealt 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 damage, plus the attack is 9 damage off of 1 Sabatender. And that's where people kind of say, wow, this card might have something. It might be good. And I just don't always see it. Like, it's not always the case. So let's just play this. I'm not going to show them the Crystal's Chosen. I will say this. As far as 2-drops are concerned, it is a decent 2-drop because it is still relevant later in the game. It also helps you if you are flooding, which is good. I'm looking at potentially bringing in this Death Touch creature. That feels like it might have a little bit more staying power than the Summon Chocomog, so we're gonna put that out here. On the draw, we're gonna be a lot more defensive, and so I've got concerns. Turn 1 Saz's Chocobo. Wow, look at this curve. We go turn 1 Saz's Chocobo into a Gooba Gardener into a Reach the Horizon. That is incredible. We might play that Sabatender next turn instead of just going Reach Horizon. Yeah, I'm gonna play this. Play this. Wow, we're landfalling, huh? OP over there, unfortunately, doing nothing, but we kind of got the nuts. There's also an outside chance that we want to just call the Mountain Chocobo here. But maybe just upgrade our Saz's Chocobo. Okay, we'll play that instead. Take a bunch. Attack all, but not this. And then gonna be tough for us not to win next turn. We probably could win with our hand tied behind our back, I think. We would just cast this, and that gets 4 damage off of this thing, and... Yeah, so overall, I think this deck looked pretty inconsistent, right? We have stuff like this that can happen, which is incredible, but also... Let's just do this. You know, we also just sometimes flood out, and if you don't have landfall triggers for your stuff, then it's just like not particularly good. So we could just attack all, but then we're trading off like our traveling Chocobo with, or our Saz's Chocobo with their Death Touch creature, when in reality we just have lethal with this on board, go get a mountain, and then ping him for 2 with the Sabatender. A Balam T-Rex keeps them alive in theory, but they don't realize that we have like Thunder Magic here. They're going to take our Saz's Chocobo. That's fine. I'll probably jump with our Sabatender, maybe. I don't really know what I want to do with it. Could just take 10, but that loses to Tifa's Limit Break, so maybe not the best choice there either. I think we just trade this off. That's fine. We got lethal in hand. Makes him look good. Go get a mountain. Triggers. And that is it, gamers. A solid 2-1 performance. Very back to form. With some fun cards, though. I really enjoyed this one. It was sweet. It definitely felt like we could go 3-0. There was some opportunity in game in round 2. I mean, if we had more like Thunder Magic or access to a Fire Magic or something like that, that would play well. I'm not really sure if we had anything to do in our like if we changed anything in our gameplay, but overall, deck was fun, not incredible, good times had by all. We'll see you guys next time on Run Back. Cheers.